Hello and welcome back. This is part 2 of the psychic reading for empowerment. We call this series Manifest Your Best for the week of September 24th through 30th. I was just saying in the last segment, for those of you who are just now tuning in to this part, that for any needs that I am equipped to help you in, this would include mediumship, intuitive guidance, looking into your Akashic record. I even do something called an Akashic record and soul path reading. This is where I go really in depth to find out where your soul was birthed. And then I find out all sorts of other bits of information for people who would like to know more about all of these ways that I can serve you and others. Feel free to text me at 949-424-4494 and share with me, please, your name and what you would like to know more about, and I will immediately set up a time for us to talk. All right? Okay, excuse me. Now, I am going to get into the readings with these cards that I had already shown you. Notice I am with a different background that comes with some different features to it. I was inspired to go into my photos and show some part of Mother Nature that I am grateful for. Now, I have posted these flowers. I do love to explore nature, and this was practically under my nose. I took my beautiful dogs for a walk in the middle of the night and came across, of all things, these really unusual buds, which, let's see, I guess if I scoot over, I don't know what you can see here, not really. Okay, they are the buds to these flowers, which looked humongous. And in the dark, I had wondered, what the heck was this that I was walking by? It was simply part of a cactus that was in the front yard of a neighbor on the street parallel to mine. So, as I shone the light on my cell phone, I came across this most magnificent bloom. Apparently, these desert blooms only come out at night. And I would love for anyone who happens to know what the name of this flower or the name of this plant is that goes with this flower, I would really appreciate it if you share it with me. You can post it here in the comments for YouTube. You can post it on my Facebook page if you're getting to this video from there. You can text it to me, but I'd really love to know. All right, so on to the reading. With my heart filled with gratitude for anyone who will do this for me, as well as for everything that has been created by Spirit for us to benefit from and to assist us in further accelerating the growth of our soul while here on earth. All right, so I've got the cards, and I am now going to choose based on what Spirit would like for those listening to this program to hear. Pulling 3 cards. Initially, I had thought to put the cards in a specific order and say in the early part of the week, the middle, and the end. And then I was guided instead to simply discuss these cards and the messages that come through, because these things can apply to more than just this week. It doesn't have to be limited to just a day or two. This is simply something in terms of messages that you can be pondering during the week of the 24th through the 30th. Okay? All right. The first one is, and hold on, I just want to actually take a look at all 3 of them quickly. Okay. These cards have within their text messages that I have actually been sharing much more than usual with the clients that I do individual intuitive guidance for. So I think that's very interesting. It could be a theme right now. And so we, as the people listening to these messages, may have more in common than we think this week. The first card I have is the dog card, and I'm just trying to make sure that I can show it to you. All right, so once again, these are the cards from Stephen Farmer. They are called Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides. These are oracle cards. Okay, so on the stock card, I see the message that says, your loyalty and faithfulness is misplaced by serving too many masters. There were a number of women who came in. There were men as well, but among the women who saw me yesterday, in fact, for intuitive guidance, I saw this recurring theme that a person needs to not only tend to their loved ones, but needs to tend to themselves as if they were, in fact, their favorite loved one. You know why? Because you should be, okay? We come here as souls to uplift the other souls here and help them achieve their lessons while on a mission of our own. Now, our primary mission, I might gently remind you, is to have our own soul accelerated growth on this dense physical plane called Earth, where we have all these dense emotions. And when I say that, I'm talking about the density of the lower vibrational emotions here. Okay, so while we can experience gratitude and joy, happiness and bliss, we can also experience frustration, resentment, fear of the unknown, anger, grief, anxiety, confusion. Now, all of these feelings we've been endowed with as souls coming, or excuse me, spirits coming into human shells, at which point we're then called a soul. Okay? So, for those who are known to be so reliable, maybe overly so, not only is it important for you to remember to serve yourself first, because that is your primary mission here, to take care of your soul learning. And then next, just like when you're on a plane and the oxygen mask comes down, you must first place it on you. Why? For personal survival, because no one else is here to take care of you the way you are. Secondly, you put the mask on first for oxygen, and you take care of yourself first here so that you can better serve others around you. And in that way, you help the entire community. Okay? All right. So this is a reminder this week for all of those who are hearing requests coming from so many different directions. Be sure to delegate, to gently decline opportunities that are too much for your plate so that you can better serve fewer masters more wisely. First, yourself, and then your loved ones. Okay. The next card. I'm not sure how to say this correctly, so the English version is Hawaiian Owl. I suppose maybe in Hawaiian it's called Pueo. I would love enlightenment on this too. I think I'll be looking it up right after this. This card reads, your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance now, so pay close attention to signs and omens from them. Oh, this is fun. I love this holographic effect. Okay, so there have been a number of conversations I've had just of late with my clients who would say, I try to connect to my loved ones in spirit. I ask divine. I just wish they'd answer me. They are. You are always heard by someone when you connect to divine. And divine may not send you a signal that you might readily see with your clairvoyant eyes. You might not hear it with your with your clairaudient ears. You might not think it with that divine download intuition called claircognizance. You might receive a sign. You might have your direction of attention focused on something unusual during that day. So keep your awareness wide open, because during the day you may actually get confirmation for something you're asking for. You might hear a song on the radio whose lyrics may actually share with you something that will help you advance in a direction that is for your highest good. Now, a word about using our senses to hear our spirit loved ones, particularly those who might be in our soul group and who have definitely been in our family line. These are souls or spirits, because they might be up there right now, with whom we have shared possibly a number of lifetimes. And they are attempting to communicate with us when we call upon them. Is it true that when we don't hear or see them energetically, that they are not there, that they are not answering us? Aside from what I just discussed with you about, they might be answering you, but in a different way. The answer is a different kind of yes. Yes, they are always around us, and yes, they always come to the degree that they can when we call upon them. And they do listen to you when they come, and they do give you an answer. They may be sharing something visually with you the second after you ask it. It might even be before you finish asking your question. Why might you not see it? Because while we have all of these intuitive talents within us, it's helpful for us to hone them, to practice using them. Did we start off running as children? No, we crawled first. And if we had stayed in a confined state where we weren't even attempting to crawl for a long time, would we be even close to walking? Mm-mm. So, in order for us to better hear from our spirit loved ones, it's important for us to take the time to hone our skills. How can you do that? You can take classes. You can spend time with a person who is more skilled at doing this, who has taken the time to learn maybe various techniques for how you can tap into your clairs. And I'll explain clairs for any of you who might be not well versed in them yet. Clairs are the shorthand way that we name our physical turned energetic talents. I'll explain. We've got our senses physically. We can feel, smell, hear, taste, touch, etc. in the physical plane. We can experience those senses energetically as well, not requiring our physical body. Okay, simply using the energy that we carry with us. So, as we get more adept through practicing our clairs, clair is French for clear, and clairvoyance has to do with, you guys know the word voyeur, okay? Also French, that has to do with sight. So clear sight. As you practice clear sight or clairaudience, which again is about hearing, so clear hearing, clairsentience is clear feeling, etc., etc. You will be more likely then to listen and hear, feel, or see energetically what spirit is attempting to communicate to us at any given moment. So I strongly encourage you. During these COVID times, many classes have gone Zoom. So I have a class that is available, you can text me for information and I'm happy to send it to you, 949-424-4494. And you can hone in more on the very important messages that Spirit is trying to send you today. The next card, the Peacock card. This says, let yourself stand out and be noticed. Oftentimes, those who are working in the background for others aren't really allowing themselves to be seen or heard. Particularly during these times, it is important for us to stand up, to let our voice be heard. And with regard to manifesting what you want, it's not just about opening your throat and letting a request come through. That's the first step. This is about persuasively expressing what your needs are so that you can attain all that you need to get that promotion, to get that next sale, to get the healthy love affair that you want so much, to get that beautiful home that you've dreamed of and you are tenaciously persevering for through whatever life circumstances are, because you know that where there's a will, there's a way, and using all of your abilities physically and energetically to manifest will get you much, much farther toward your goal than if you simply sat by and waited for someone to plop it down for you. So, to review here, in order to manifest your best this week, be sure to focus and prioritize your personal needs first, and to remove from your plate anything excessive that is not something that you must do. When you delegate, then you can focus on the most important actions that you need to take toward achieving your goal. Whether your goal is personal attainment of something or helping your community in their goals. Okay. It's important for you to allow yourself to develop your energetic skills so that you can raise your vibration and be able to better hear, see, and feel your messages from Spirit. Divine has a world full of wisdom, no pun intended. They are waiting to be able to share it with you. Only when you call upon them for help are they allowed to step in and directly give you advice. So go for this. Hone your skills. Find a way to learn, develop, and practice your clairs so that you can not only be able to discern from Spirit, but you'll also be able to discern from your loved ones sometimes what might not be said. It's listening to that silence between the lines of verse people recite where you may find the deeper truth. And when you understand someone else better, you're able to relate to them better. This is all about creating a better world. And lastly, now that I think I have found the correct position for you to actually see the card, this one is the Peacock card. Let yourself stand up and be noticed. This week, let your needs be heard. Anything can be said directly and yet with tact. They can be stated to someone who, upon perhaps expressing a lack of ability to help you, then you can express this request to the next person up the chain or in a different area to a whole other entity which may be of service to you in this way. Also, remember that you are here to help listen to someone else who speaks out. So allow yourself to serve the people around you by responding to your loved ones after having actively listened to what their needs are, and digging down deep and seeing if there is a healthy way that you can contribute to their cause. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you very much for your patience as I was playing with the videos. I'll be trying a few different things over the next few episodes. And I hope that you all stay well, that you will be blessed, and most of all, that you will be you this week. Namaste.